Alright guys, so we're in IKEA right now, trying to buy some stuff, and my wife thinks that it's just for my office or just for the apartment, but she has no idea it's for her surprise setup. Alright, let's back up a sec so I can explain. This is my wife Sally, and her current desk setup is less than ideal. She's been using this cramped desk for a while now, and it's really just not cutting it anymore. So while she's away for the long weekend, I'm going to surprise her and create her dream desk makeover. And besides just fixing all of the existing and obvious issues, I also wanted to create a space that she really enjoyed being in, a special space to call her own, somewhere she can focus when needed, find inspiration for her creative outlets, and also relax with a movie or some video games. So the current desk is right here behind me, and I'm just gonna walk you guys through some of the problems with it and things that I'm hoping to fix with the new setup. So her space is currently right here in the corner, and at first it looks okay. But she's going back to grad school, so there's not enough space for her to do her schoolwork, her hobbies, and everything else. So first things first, this chair's gotta go. The legs aren't even straight, so it's wobbly, and the chair is not ergonomic at all. Then down here, the cable management is a mess. The wires are just all over the floor, and there aren't even any monitors plugged into this, so yeah, that definitely needs to be fixed. And then for the desk itself, it's literally just a piece of wood resting on this cabinet, and there's this gap where it doesn't even reach the wall all the way. So honestly, is it even a real desk? Anyway, as for the tech, she's currently using this Surface with the keyboard cover, and the screen on this is so small I really don't know how she uses it. So I would love to set her up with a real monitor and keyboard and mouse so she can get some serious work done. And there's also a bunch of these little knickknacks that she loves, so these will definitely need to find a place to live within the new setup as well. And lastly, we line washed this wall recently with this earthy green color, and there's generally some cozy vibes going on in this desk, so I definitely want to keep that and make sure that the new setup feels just as cozy. Alright, so now I'm gonna set the camera down, clean up this area, and clear everything out so we can start building the new stuff. I'm really excited for the new setup, and I hope she really likes the surprise. Alright, so quick update. I packed everything into this box, and the table is now clear. I just put the tabletop on this side for now, and then use the rest of this space to build a new desk. Alright, so I think I made pretty good progress today. I got all of the desk components behind me, and it's getting pretty late, so I'm gonna call it for tonight and start building everything tomorrow. And as a creative who spends over 90% of my day at a desk, I knew how important finding the right one was. So I am really thankful for Desky in partnering with me and making this video possible. To be honest, I was already looking into their desks for this surprise makeover because of some unique features like their smart controller with Siri integration and automations. But we'll get more into that later when we do the full desk reveal. The desk itself was pretty straightforward to set up. The tabletop is solid wood and reinforced across the bottom with metal strips to prevent warping. And I really appreciate how almost every screw was the same size, and the pre-drilled holes meant no need to drill into the hardwood itself when you're installing the dual legs and the motors. And pro tip, definitely opt to include casters instead of just the standard feet. These Desky casters were super easy to swap out because they just screw right in, and they have the ability to lock in place. Okay, so I'm pretty much done building the desk, and overall it was a pretty seamless process. It comes with everything you need, and the instructions were really clear as well. However, I do want to note that if you get this under desk drawer, you will need to drill a couple of pilot holes, but that was the only thing that took some extra time to install. So now I gotta set up this monitor arm and start putting some of the finishing touches on. Alright, so I got the monitor mounted on the arm, and I gotta say that this monitor arm looks really clean, and all the cables are routed through here and all the way down across this cable management channel. So I have to clean this up a little bit, but I think it's already looking pretty decent. So the original idea behind this under desk drawer was to be able to connect the Surface to this USB-C cable that I routed to the monitor. But the problem is once I plug it in, the cable sticks out too far, so the Surface can't fit in this drawer anymore. So I'm gonna have to see if I can find a right angle USB, or maybe just get a stand or something for the Surface on top of the desk. And there's one more piece, which is this monitor stand that I have to set up. And after that, the desk should be completed. So the monitor stand is set up, and the idea is for this to be a surface to kind of display small accessories, knickknacks, things like that. I'm really liking the way that this came together, and I'm really excited to put some of the finishing touches on. Then we'll do the final reveal. I'm in the car because I just realized I forgot to buy a mouse for her setup, and Sally is coming home today, so I need this to be quick. So I'm on my way to Microcenter, and the plan is to pick up both a set of speakers as well as a mouse, because although the monitor has speakers built in, they're really not that great. So I think a dedicated set would make a huge difference. I should be able to grab them quickly and then head home and still have time to spare before she gets back. At least that's the plan. I just got back from Microcenter, and I ended up getting this ergonomic mouse from Logitech, as well as these creative Pebble speakers. And I couldn't hear them in store because the unit they had wasn't working, but they had pretty good reviews and they're white, so hopefully they match with the whole setup. And Sally will be home in about 2 hours, so I just have to install everything, clean it up, and then we can surprise her with the final reveal. Let's get to it. Wait, turn this way.
Wait.
Okay, so stand here, ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Wait, what's this? Where's my desk?
I upgraded your desk setup.
Oh, thank you. This is huge.
You like it?
Yeah, this is so pretty. This is so pretty.
It's a stand desk.
Oh,
So the centerpiece of this setup is the Desky 60-inch hardwood sit-stand desk in white oak. I love the finish and the color of this wood because it pairs so well with the earthy tones in here and adds a cozy warmth to the entire space. And you can tell the designers over at Desky really put a lot of thought into making this whole desk a seamless experience. For example, I usually hate cable management because it stresses me out, but this cable management tray is genius. I've never used one with this type of hinged design, but it makes a ton of sense because when it's open, you have full access to all of the cables. And then when you're done, it just tucks away neatly when it's closed. The integrated power strips with 6 outlets are all modular and click right into place within the tray. Everything connects right underneath the desk, and you only have one cable leading out to the wall. Plus, the integrated USB ports came in clutch because I was able to power the speakers, the monitor light bar, as well as the desk lamp, all without needing additional AC adapters. But the real magic is in the smart controller. This is not like other sit-stand desks where the controller is kind of an afterthought. Of course, it has all the basic functions you would expect, like height adjustments and presets, but Desky was able to pack a ton of tech into this thing. And honestly, it's what makes this desk so special. By connecting it through the Desky app, you unlock a ton of smart features that allows the desk to adapt to your lifestyle. For example, you can control the height of the desk directly from the app without touching the table, or you can change the colors of the RGB lighting on the controller. Because the smart controller also has Siri integration, you can use your voice to control the desk. This is perfect because we already have a bunch of other smart devices around this apartment, so being able to control your desk with your voice is just another layer of convenience. And the coolest thing about these voice controls is that you can connect it to Siri and say things like, "Lower my desk." And if you have presets set up, you can say things like, "Set desk to preset 3. And after setting up the Siri integration, you are now able to automate the desk, which further elevates the convenience. For example, to help boost her energy and improve focus, the desk is scheduled to rise at 9 a.m., ready to go first thing in the morning. And the second automation is set for 1 p.m. where the desk automatically lowers the sitting position for some lunch or a quick afternoon snack. It's a great way to seamlessly integrate the sit-stand desk into your lifestyle, and it's just one less thing to worry about. Plus, if you're like me and often gets locked in on work and forget to stand up after a long period of time, the controller also has a sedentary reminder, so it can notify you to stand up and move around. All of these smart features really make this desk stand out from the rest and just integrates it into your day-to-day to fit your lifestyle. As for accessories, I opted for the Desky white oak monitor stand for some organization on top of the desk and for displaying all of the random knickknacks that she collects. I quite like the minimal design, and it offers a good height for storage underneath. And just like the tabletop, the hardwood finish is high quality and it feels heavy duty. And to the left, we have this under desk drawer that I talked about earlier. I did end up getting a right angle USB-C cable, so now her computer is able to be plugged in and tucked into this drawer out of the way. There's even a little tray for added organization, like for pens or cables. So this combination of the monitor stand as well as the under desk drawer just adds another level of customization as well as organization to this desk setup. Speaking of the computer, let's get into all of the tech in this setup. Powering everything is a 13-inch Surface Pro with the Snapdragon X Plus and 16 gigs of RAM. It has a good mix of power, portability, and utility. Especially for a student, the pen is perfect for things like taking notes, marking up textbooks, and PDFs. Through a single USB-C cable, it's driving this 34-inch MSI ultra-wide monitor in white. It was actually surprisingly hard to find a white ultra-wide monitor with a high refresh rate and PD charging. This one came shipped with a huge chunk of the box missing, but thankfully the monitor itself had no issues. It's a 120Hz 1440p ultra-wide, which is perfect for productivity and schoolwork. Compared to the tiny 13-inch Surface screen that she was using, this monitor should really help with multitasking as well as media consumption. Anyway, the monitor is mounted to the Desky single slim aluminum monitor arm using the VESA compatible mount. And it pairs perfectly with the overall aesthetic of this setup. It's highly adjustable in all directions, and the integrated cable management channels route the cables neatly under the desk right into those power ports. The base of the stand even has a spot for tools, which is a really smart feature so you don't lose them when you need them. And I'm happy to report that this arm has no issues holding the ultra-wide monitor up. I put the speakers on the monitor stand, and these are the Creative Pebble Pros. Honestly, they are nothing special, but are still miles better compared to the built-in speakers in the monitor. When I went to Microcenter, they just didn't have a ton of choices, so I grabbed these because they were white and I figured it would fit into her setup. Plus, the RGB lighting is a nice touch. But I'm already thinking about swapping them out, so if you have any suggestions for white speakers with a fuller, richer sound, drop them in the comments below. Now let's get into some of the lighting. The monitor bar is just off of Amazon from a brand called Quintus, and it offers pretty great value for the money. It has pretty much every feature you would need in a monitor bar. The wireless controller makes it really convenient to adjust the settings without needing to fiddle around with the buttons on the light itself. My favorite feature has to be the built-in backlight, so it reflects ambient light off the wall in addition to the task lighting. However, one downside is that the backlight is not adjustable even if you change the temperature of the bar light itself. For the accent lighting behind the desk, I used the COZY Strip Light 2 Pro. This warm lighting really elevates the space, and of course it also has all of those other fun RGB features like syncing it with music and other animations. I also plugged this light strip into the power point right under the desk, so cable management was a non-issue. And best of all, just like the desk, it also has voice integration, so you can adjust it without needing to open the app. This lamp on the desk was one she already had, and I thought the orange color really fit the space well and gave it that extra cozy vibe. The keyboard is also from Amazon, and I'll try to link everything in the description. I think it matches the aesthetic perfectly, and the switches also sound pretty nice. It also has a host of customization like the RGB, as well as this little LCD display on the keyboard itself. Personally, I would have opted for a 10 keyless like a 75 or a 65%, but because she works with spreadsheets pretty often, I felt this was a much better fit. Plus, her desk is more than wide enough for the longer keyboard, and it can slide under the monitor stand when not in use. The mouse is this pink Logitech Lift mouse that I got from Microcenter. It's an ergonomic mouse which is supposed to help reduce wrist pain due to the vertical orientation. I think the color combo worked perfectly with the mouse and keyboard, and both of them pair wirelessly to the Surface, so the tabletop is wire-free. And I gotta say, with all this stuff on the desk, the motorized legs can handle the weight no problem. Desky states that the legs are rated for over 300 pounds, so even at full height, it's super sturdy and surprisingly stable with no wobbling while typing. And to round out the setup, this is a chair that I also got from Amazon. Although it's not the most ergonomic, it's pretty comfy and plush, and the ability to adjust the side panels are a huge bonus. And besides, with a sit-stand desk, you don't really need the most ergonomic chair because you'll be standing half the time anyway. On the sidewall, I installed this 2-piece magnetic pegboard system, and it comes with all of these hooks and trays for organization. I feel like pegboards are just a staple and a must-have in pretty much every setup. The modularity and utility just can't be beat. Plus, you get to customize it for your own style and workflow. Finally, a plant or two rounds out the whole setup and brings some greenery into the space. So that's pretty much it, and let me know what you guys think of this setup. Because I only had less than 3 days to do this whole makeover, I'm already thinking about ways to improve it. And if you have any suggestions, definitely let me know down below. From the beginning, the goal of this makeover was to give her a new space where she can do her schoolwork, her hobbies, and just a place to chill and relax. Especially coming from the tiny Surface that she was using to an ultra-wide monitor with a real mouse and keyboard, I think this shift is gonna be huge. But most importantly, I wanted to create a cozy space where she felt comfortable and surrounded by all of her favorite things. So I think this setup definitely delivers. This video was pretty insane to make, so if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to support my channel, definitely subscribe. It's completely free and it means a lot to me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.